Have you ever found yourself just staring at a mountain of data, completely lost, not able to find a single straightforward answer? Yeah, you're not alone. So today, we're going to demystify a tool that can turn that data overload into crystal clear insight in, like, just a few clicks.
Okay, so let's set the scene, right? We've all been there. You open a spreadsheet and, whoa, it's just this wall of information. Thousands of rows, dozens of columns. I mean, where do you even begin?
This probably looks super familiar, doesn't it? Row after row of dates, products, regions, sales figures. I mean, it's valuable stuff, sure, but it's also completely overwhelming. At this point, it's not really information, it's just noise.
And then, you know what happens next. The request comes in. Your boss needs to know the top-selling product, and of course, the deadline is breathing down your neck. You could spend hours filtering, sorting, trying to remember some complex formula, or you could use a much, much smarter tool.
This is where you get a data analysis superpower. Seriously, let's talk about the pivot table. So what even is it? Well, to put it simply, a pivot table is this amazing interactive tool that summarizes massive data sets in a flash. It takes all that raw, messy data and reorganizes it into a meaningful summary. And here's the absolute best part. It never, ever changes your original source data. It's completely safe, totally non-destructive.
You know, the magic behind it all really comes down to 4 simple building blocks. You've got your rows, which become your vertical labels, and columns for your horizontal ones. The values area, that's where you drop the numbers you want to calculate, like sums or averages. And finally, filters let you zoom in on just the specific data you care about. If you can get your head around these 4 areas, you've pretty much mastered the whole thing.
My absolute favorite way to think about it is this. Imagine a giant, messy pile of Legos all over the floor. A pivot table is like having a set of magic bins that instantly sort every single piece by color, size, and shape. It takes chaos and creates perfect order.
All right, enough theory. The best way to really get this is to see it in action. So let's build one, right now.
And I mean it when I say it's simple. We're talking 3 basic steps. Select your data, insert the pivot table, and then comes the fun part. You just drag and drop the fields to start asking your data all kinds of questions.
Okay, so step 1, we just highlight our entire dataset. From there, we go to the Insert menu and click Pivot Table. The software is smart enough to just set up a nice, clean new sheet for us to work in. Now, to answer that question from our boss, we need a list of our products, right? So we find the product field over in our list, and we just drag it down into the rows area. And boom, instantly, a clean list of every unique product just appears. No duplicates, just the categories we're actually selling. Next up, we need to know how many of each of those products were sold. So we find the units sold field, and we drag that into the values area. And just like that, the pivot table automatically does all the math, summing up every single unit sold for each product. No formulas needed. It's incredible. And there it is, the transformation. On the left, you see that intimidating wall of data we started with. And on the right, that clean, simple, powerful summary we just created in, less than a minute? This right here, this is what it's all about. Turning complexity into clarity.
You know, getting the numbers is really only half the battle. The real power comes when you turn that data into a story that people can actually understand. And that's where a pivot chart comes into play. Think of it as the visual, dynamic partner to your pivot table. While the table gives you the numbers, the chart helps you see the trends, spot the weird outliers, and understand the patterns in just a glance.
And because we've already done the hard work of summarizing all that data, creating a chart is literally a one-click operation. You just select your new summary table, click Insert Chart, and you get an instant visualization. It's that easy.
And now we can see the story, right? The size of each slice immediately tells us how much each product contributed. You don't even have to read the numbers. You just see the answer.
So there we have it, a definitive answer for our boss, with a super clear visual to back it up. Erasers are the clear winner, making up 36% of all the units we sold. The answer isn't just correct, it's compelling. Okay, so we've solved this one specific problem, but the real magic of this tool is just how versatile it is. I mean, this is not a one-trick pony. This technique isn't just for sales data. Not at all. You could use this exact same process to analyze student test scores, track project budgets, or even manage your personal finances. The rule is simple. If your data is in rows and columns, it can be pivoted.
I mean, just looking at this student dataset, think about the questions you could answer in seconds. What's the average satisfaction score for the engineering program? How many students are learning online versus hybrid? What's the average attendance rate for the arts majors? These are actually pretty complex questions made ridiculously simple.
And at the end of the day, it all comes back to this one powerful idea. The whole point, the crucial benefit of this tool, is its ability to let you quickly summarize huge amounts of data so you can find the answers that are hidden inside.
Every single dataset has a story hidden inside of it. It's filled with insights about your business, your projects, or your customers, all of it just waiting to be uncovered. And now you have the tool to find that story. So the only question left is, what will you discover?